Hello, today we are going to be making a polymer clay cookie. So first you're going to need some dark brown clay. I'm using raw sienna here. And you're going to condition it before rolling it into a thin log. It is better if it's a rather thin log because it's going to make it a lot easier to chop it later on when you're going to make it into chips. After you get your desired shape, it would be good for you to pre-bake it so that it can hold its shape on for later. While waiting for it to finish pre-baking, you're going to make your dough color out of a mixture of translucent and light beige colors. You don't have to use this many, but I prefer to use it because it gives a texture that is nice, that is not too soft or too hard. Like it's something in between Premo and Fimo. So as you can see, I'm just taking as I go along and mixing until I think the color looks right. So this is what the final color will somewhat look like. It doesn't have to accurately look like this. And by this point, your brown clay should have finished baking, and you're going to be chopping it up into list ovals and adding it into your dough clay. And you can add more or less as you go on if you think it looks good. And now you're going to be chopping it up. Chopping up because it reduces the size of the chips and it makes it look nicer. So this is what it's going to look like. So now you're going to be tearing off a chunk and you're going to fold it until you find like a spot which you think looks right or that you really like. And you're going to be folding it into a round shape, because that's what most cookies tend to look like. And then you're going to be flattening out the edges, and this is going to be helping it to look slightly more realistic. It's like the beginning of the process. And now you're going to be using the tinfoil as the base of your texture so you can figure out which ridges and creases you want to have it. And now I'm going to be using two old toothbrushes to texture, and I cut off the bristles of one of them because those gives more like a dot-like texture, and the other one is a softer look. So now you can flatten it out, or to get rid of some of the texture before you use a ball tool or a needle tool to add those ridges that you see. And I would recommend you to have a reference picture where you're doing this, because it's good to have one where you can refer to so you can see where the texture, because if you try to remember it, you're going to end up looking not so real, because in some parts you might add too much texture or you're going to be adding too little. So you just add and change and soften stuff, and you pre-bake it. And I pre-bake it so that it doesn't lose its texture. I'm going to be using these 3 different colored pastels along with these 2 different brown colors. So for now, we're going to be up close and personal with this cookie so that we can have a better view of it. So first, I'm starting off with the light yellow color, and I'm using my fingers to get rid of the excessive color so that it doesn't look overly saturated, and can layer it on without it looking too orangey or too yellow. And try not to add the color to the center of your cookie, because that's where the cookie tends to look the least shaded. Just add your first layer of shading, and once you think you're done with the pastel shading, you can add the brown paint. And now you're only going to focus it on edges. Don't put it all over it, because it's just going to look like a burnt cookie, and no one likes a burnt cookie. So we're just going to focus on the edges, and this is what the final piece will look like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you for watching my first video.